Hi there, and welcome to the Hot Hatch edition of Motor Trend's Head to Head. Only it's not the Hot Hatch edition because for some inexplicable reason, Subaru has stopped making the WRX wagon. So instead, it is this car versus this car. And this is the all-new 2015 Subaru WRX, and this is the Ford Focus ST. Now, ever since the Focus ST showed up, it has been one of our favorite performance cars. In fact, we liked it so much we invited it to last year's Best Driver's Car, where not only was it the least expensive car by about $70,000, it did pretty okay for itself. The WRX has long been a giant killer, embarrassing cars and their owners that cost twice as much. In terms of two of the three big Ps, price and power, these cars are pretty similar. They're both about 30 grand, they both have turbocharged 2-liter engines, but in terms of performance, and most importantly, which one is best to drive, you're gonna have to watch and find out. Because it's front-wheel drive, the Ford Focus ST is a little traction limited, so it takes 6.2 seconds to hit 60 miles an hour, even though it makes power similar to the WRX. The Focus then goes down the quarter mile in 14.7 seconds at 96.5 miles per hour. The WRX is all-wheel drive, so it takes 5.5 seconds to hit 60 miles an hour, quicker than the Focus ST. However, that time is significantly slower than the 2014 WRX, which takes only 4.7 seconds. Why? Blame the new 6-speed manual transmission. The WRX then goes down the quarter mile in 14 seconds flat at 98.1 miles per hour. Braking from 60 miles an hour is pretty good, only 106 feet. Braking has never been a Ford strong suit, and the Focus is okay, taking 112 feet to stop from 60 miles an hour. Road holding, however, is excellent. Focus ST can pull 0.95 Gs on the skid pad. That's incredible for a front-wheel drive car. It can then go around our figure 8 in 25.8 seconds, and it is hilarious while it's doing so. The WRX holds the road about as well as the Focus, 0.96 Gs on the skid pad. And while it's not a barrel of monkeys like the Focus, the WRX is quicker around the Motor Trend figure 8, taking only 25.3 seconds. That's a very good time. But of course, that's all limit handling. What we need to find out is how these two do in the real world. Well, at least our version of the real world. Check out this road. And you might be saying, why is this man smiling like that? And well, it's because I'm turning the steering wheel of the Focus ST. And I gotta tell you, this thing has some of the best turn-in of any production car. I mean, the initial kind of just reaction the car makes when you turn the steering wheel, it feels like a McLaren 12C. It's that instant, that sharp, that just kind of, you just feel something and you smile. The problem for the Focus ST is that there's more to turning than just turning in. There's also kind of, steady stating around an apex and then turning out, getting the wheel back to straight. And what Ford has done is they've loosened up the rear suspension just a ton. And what this does is when you turn in, the car starts to rotate. It actually, it's a front-wheel drive car that starts to oversteer like crazy. I will say, this is a hell of a way to go down a twisty road. Not the fastest way, but it sure is a lot of fun. Good on Ford. This is this is just a ball, man. and it feels like a very fast, powerful, fun to drive front-wheel drive car. But there is torque steer. Now, it's not that bad. They've done a really good job of mitigating the torque steer. But, you know, and I should admit, I've driven cars with a lot less power that torque steer a lot more. But it's still there. Like just now, the steering wheel is jerking because I'm rolling on the throttle all the way. This is a wonderful looking car, whereas the Subaru isn't. Interior-wise, mixed bag. I'm sitting in these Recaro buckets which come with the Focus ST, and while they are very useful on a canyon road like this, they are some of the most uncomfortable seats I've ever experienced, especially after about a half hour. As my colleague Rory said, there is no comfortable seating position. Absolutely right. You know, they're both 6-speed manuals. The Focus is here. Yeah, you know, it's like kind of putting a pipe in a rubber donut, whereas the WRX's is like the same pipe in a tightly packed box of gravel. So pick your poison. Neither is ideal. Both a lot of fun. Now we've moved into the Subaru WRX, and again, the little things, starting with the exterior, looks worse than ever, and in 5 years I'll think it looks pretty good. Interior, this definitely has economy car roots. The Ford has really stepped up their game with interiors. They're a little busy, but they're kind of interesting, and they hide the low price well, whereas this one, I mean, this carbon, it's not, I don't know what it is. Can't call it carbon fiber. It's like plastic with weird lines in it. Not good. The pedal placement on the WRX is way better than on the Focus. In fact, the Focus, everyone's been commenting, it's very difficult to heel and toe in because the brake pedal is so much in front of the gas pedal. One of our camera guys wears size 12 shoes, and he was saying he was getting his foot caught. I wear size 13 shoes, and I can't even reach. It's that bad. WRX is set up really, really well. Again, very manly shifter. Boom, boom, very mechanical. The steering wheel itself feels wonderful. You know, they used to use Momos. Don't know if they still do, but this is a hell of a steering wheel. But let's talk about how she drives. Wow. Look, I really like WRXs. This one, it's shocking how well it goes down the road. You know, they always talk about, well, it's got a boxer engine, center of gravity is very low, so you have a low roll center, this, that, and the other. They've just done such a wonderful job with this car. The turn-in, while not as kind of whee as the Focus ST, feels very good, very sporty. Car is very stable and controlled all the way through a corner, and then you can just get on the power. All-wheel drive, not front-wheel drive. As Randy Pope says, puts the power down. Let me tell you the difference, the big difference between these two cars, besides all-wheel drive versus front-wheel drive. And it's this. As much fun as I was having in the Focus ST, I had the traction control off, but I had the stability control on. Why? I don't trust the car. A lot of fun, not confidence inspiring. The WRX, on the other hand, this particular one, I've never driven it on a road like this with the traction or the stability control on. I turn everything off. Why? Don't need it. Bunch of federally mandated nonsense. This car, like the Volkswagen GTI, they put in a torque vectoring. It's not really torque vectoring, it's brake actuated, so it actually uses the ABS system to kind of take power away from one of the wheels. A friend of mine at Subaru told me that if you turn everything off, you don't get any torque vectoring. And let me tell you, you don't need it. The car is that good. This is such a wonderful driving car. It's such a fast way to go down the road. All that leads us to the end of this head-to-head. Love the Ford Focus ST. Crazy that you can make a front-wheel drive car that much fun to drive. And it really is fun to drive. But the WRX, to me, is even more fun to drive. The Focus is kind of a one-trick pony. Oversteering around every corner no matter what, it's not the fast way. And for me, going fast down a canyon is a lot of fun. It's almost like they're different classes of car, yet it's the same money. And for that reason, and that reason alone, despite all the negative stuff you can say about it, the 2015 Subaru WRX wins this head-to-head. Now where's the wagon? In the fine tradition of storytelling, we are saving the best for last. No, seriously, check this out. That cop lady looking at me. Woo! And it drifts a little bit. That was in front of the California Highway Patrol. Don't worry, we're paying them. I turned everything off. Why? Don't need it. Bunch of federally mandated nonsense. A deer just ran in front of the car. Why? Don't need it. Bunch of federally mandated nonsense. This car is so stable, it's so controllable. That deer just freaked me out. All right.